Nah.
What? I will diss them, guy. You dumb. Who
like,
that?
Hey fam, ignore all of that, man. Come rolling, man. Keep rolling.
Is this a proper thing or is this live stream? Or both? It's both, yeah? You see how mad it is, yeah? Man like me, I'm gonna talk some real talks today, yeah? And all of you, man, need to understand what I'm saying because this is gonna be the realest talks you're gonna hear.
Content over everything.
I've seen a lot of people that don't believe in God, yeah? Now, I'm gonna bring you, because I brought some logical proofs already to Steve, to James, to some other people. But today I'm gonna come with more talks, because if you ain't seen that logical, watch it. But now I'm gonna come with more logics, you understand? More intellectual ideas. Everyone take notes, get your pen and papers ready. Yeah, a man like Deen is gonna come hard today about believing in God, yeah? First of all, since Adam till today, yeah, everyone in the world who believes in God were always the good people. Since the creation of Adam. And those that didn't believe in God were always the bad people. Now, you can see this in everyday life and throughout history, since the time of Moses, since the time of Abraham and Nimrod. You understand? Till today, till this present day, those that believe in God are good people, nice people, and those that do not believe in God are dirty man them, chichi man them, yeah? Let me explain to you why, and I'm gonna come with some reasonable, logical, rational explanations and logical arguments. Now, those that believe in God, yeah, they will offer you a cup of tea. They'll be nice to you. They'll tell you, come in hostility, come to my house, relax, chill. They'll open their kindness to you. Those that do not believe in God, they will scratch your face like that. They will give you the worst, hardest time of your life. Now, there's a lot of people confused right now thinking, hold on a minute, someone who supposedly believed in God gave me a hard time. Well, guess what? If he really believed in God, he wouldn't have done that. You understand? There's levels to believing in God. So you might be on level 1 and you might be on level 90. You might be on level 0.01 and you might be on level 100. So the more you believe in God, the more good of a person you're going to be. You understand? Now, I know that there's going to be bare people saying, rare. I don't mind. Bring me your arguments. I will bring you the proofs in it. Now, it is enough to prove the existence and power of the mercy of God, because millions of people in the world right now, there's millions of good people since history till now. You understand? That just shows that God's mercy, like there is good people out there that can prove they're God. Allah sent 124,000 prophets. Now remember this number, 124,000 prophets. And they were good and all their followers were good, okay? And the top of these prophets, the main ones of these prophets, were obviously Abraham, Moses, Jacob, David, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the final. So, but out of the 124,000 prophets, hello love. Yeah, you good, yeah? God bless you. So basically now, this just shows that what happened here? One second. I see how you come do this thing, fam. Yo, brother. The thing went down. The thing moves, innit? How's the thing, innit? The thing moves, yeah. It moved by itself, by the way. It wasn't me. You see, the jinns tried to get involved. How the jinns see me talking real talk, they touched the camera like that. They wasn't happy because they tried to touch me. They can't. You understand? How man's protected out here. But they try to come to the camera, rude boy. You see? But don't watch that, man's here, innit? Yeah, listen. For example, let's talk logical proofs now. For example, if a person said, for example, let's give an example of Sophia Lewis, for example. Sophia Lewis came back from Tenerife, for example. This is just an example. Sophia Lewis came back from Ibiza or let's say, forget Ibiza. Let's say she came back from, what's that country with bare things in it? Vietnam, not Vietnam, the other one, blood, Thailand. Sophia Lewis came back from Thailand yesterday. So imagine, okay, by the way, this is an example, yeah? I'm giving an example for those that do not know, this is an example. So imagine 20 people came up to you and said, oh, guess what? Hey, Modi, Sophia Lewis came back from Thailand yesterday. 20 people, okay? Now, what do they call this? It's logical now to believe because it's called reoccurrence of the news. Reoccurring news, you understand? So now, if 20 people have told me, hey, blood, hey, Rubai, Aki, Wagwan, hey, Sophia come back from Thailand yesterday, now it's logically for me to believe she came back from Thailand yesterday because 20 people have told me this. Do you understand? Now, now I'm going to come to what I'm going to say. So in history, so many prophets, I just use that Sophia as an example. I'm just giving an example, yeah? It could be anyone coming from anywhere, yeah? So all the prophets that came since the time of Adam till today, yeah? 124,000 prophets, yeah? And all the people that followed them and saw them and believed in them, they told other people, you understand? It's called a reoccurrence of the news, okay? Now, this is enough for us to believe that these prophets came with a message from God to the people. Because there's so many people saying it, and you understand? And especially if the person saying it is a reliable source. For example, if you come with everyone trusts a guy in a park, for example, and this guy from the park that everyone trusts, he would never lie, comes and gives us this information, then that is more reliable than a waste man giving us this information. But imagine 124,000 people that are good all came down and their followers all came down giving us this information. So what does that show you? It's called the reoccurrence news, the theory of the reoccurring news, okay? Okay. What? Oh yeah, is the live thing going, yeah? I big up, yeah, big up. What are they saying on this live thing, fam? So if there's inspiration, if inspiration is proved, then the one who sent them is also proved, which is God. Do you understand? Yeah? And there are many natural and unnatural events that happen. For example, there's magical events that happen. For example, 4,000 years ago there's been magic. The Quran mentions magic, for example. Most people believe in magic and most people believe in its effects. Now, so where does this happen today and by what law does this happen? And those that deny the power of Allah, they should explain magic, but they can't, for example. They deny it because they can't explain it. But we both believe some magic are effective, some magicians are effective. Do you understand? I'm just giving you an example. This proves the power of Allah, again. And there are other laws besides the natural laws under the power of Allah and His management. This proves the existence of Allah. Do you understand? Not just magic, but there are strange scientists. There are strange scientific things like hypnosis, the parapsychology. Have you heard of parapsychology? Also, all of us have heard of parapsychology. The science, like for example, the phenomena that cannot be explained, hypnotism. You know, like 100 different things. Hypnotism. There's you know, the laws like of changing something. You know, all of these are lies. So if you're saying all of these are lies, for example, all of these laws, yeah, because then you're wrong, because there are laws over natural laws as well. Do you understand? And they affect. So who created and legislated them? It's the one and only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The miracles since Adam till today, even the intellectual people say miracle today's are over the manufacture, they say miracles are over them days. Now it's the time of manufacture, you understand? So they're saying definitely miracles happened thousands of years ago, or 1,000 years ago, or hundreds of years ago. Miracles did happen with the prophets. Jesus, Moses, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Until the Prophet Muhammad, there's his 12 disciples. Till today, you got the Imam al-Mahdi who will also bring a miracle, because he will come with the ring of Solomon.
The guy that spat in Hassan's face.
Oh, they're beefing.
Right.
Who is he? He's going to spot nothing. Real one.
Eddie.
Disturb the subject, yeah? So obviously, the inspiration is proved. All right. Obviously, like So there's other laws, like we've said, there's the power of Allah, there's, we've talked about parapsychological, the paranormal. So at the end of the day, the 12th disciple of the Prophet Muhammad, who is still alive today, the Imam al-Mahdi, he's going to come with miracle as well. When he comes with the stick of Moses, the ring of Solomon, the box of the time of Moses, he's going to bring all of this with him. He's going to have the angel Gabriel on his right, the angel Michael on his left. You understand? So miracles have happened. You understand? For example, yeah, I'm going to talk about, and they've happened continuously. But because we are low people, we don't understand except for low things. Do you understand? Our intellect is, do you understand? For example, the law of gravity. What is the law of gravity? If I get a phone and I let go, it falls, right, in my hand. Now, humans have called this the law of gravity. But this, for example, by the power of Allah, I say this happens by the power of Allah. Do you understand? But you're calling it the law of gravity. I'm calling it the power of Allah, for example. The power of God. When I say Allah, I mean God, yeah? For example, those that say, oh, things that cannot be seen do not exist. I'm going to ask these people, can they see gravity? They call it gravity, right? Can they see that? But they can't deny that it exists. It happens by the power of Allah, obviously. Now, what I'm trying to say at the end of the day, yeah, is that you need to understand. I've brought so many other logics and proofs and stuff, yeah? But what I'm trying to say is that I brought other things here, but what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, we need to ask ourselves. We need to ask questions. If you don't believe in God, always ask questions. Because when I used to be young, about 13 years old, 14 years old, I was thinking, yeah, how do I believe in God? Because what if God doesn't exist, you know? So, yo, hey, where's COE, blood? Hey, Rex, come. Hey, what happened here, blood? I pressed this by accident. The thing, yeah, almost finished, blood. Oh, yeah, drop, but I pressed this button by accident.
Stop something.
Yeah, see, look here.
Let go.
I don't know, is it stop? See, even this button, yeah, for it to work, I have to press it. Imagine, yeah, everything. It's called the unmoved mover, you understand? Aristotle's theory, the unmoved mover, you understand? So there must be an unmoved mover, because every cause has an effect, you understand? Is that cool, yeah? What's that record button thing?
That's good, but it's on hold anyway, so even if you touch the button, something won't change.
Is it still recording in this? Yeah, okay. So at the end of the day, what I wanted to say is that, big up live stream, what I wanted to say, yeah, is that I was asking the question, because I wasn't really sure. I was like, what if God didn't, there is no God? So I kept on asking my dad. I said, nah, prove to me. Like, I kept on asking. I didn't stop asking questions. That's the problem. When you stop asking questions, that's when you're going to be in trouble. So if you don't believe, you need to ask. You need to ask why you don't believe. Keep on asking till you get the right answers. Yes, big up everyone. What do you say? You want to come on this thing? Yeah, so you got to keep on asking questions till you get the right answer. And that's what I did. I kept on asking my dad about the existence of God and how can I believe. And he was just proving to me. He was telling me, he goes to me, first he proved to me that there was a God. And then he said to me, so how is this God going to connect to the people? He sent prophets, right? So, you understand? So he was explaining everything to me. So alhamdulillah, I started becoming a believer. And then obviously I became a firm believer in God. Then a firmer believer. Now obviously now I'm 100%. I believe I can believe it. Like I can, like it's 100% certainty. You know what I'm saying? But obviously you can keep going up. There's no level of stopping. You get me? You can go to the highest level of belief, which was the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And then after him was the prophets and Imam Ali and all the messengers of Allah. And the Imams, they were after the Prophet Muhammad in belief. And then after them, it comes like the disciples, the holy people, you get me, the companions, some of the companions, you get me, or the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You understand? So obviously, to get to that stage of belief in God, that should be your aim, you understand, in life. Because the levels of heaven is according to the levels of belief. Yeah, I'm gonna show. Hey, big up the man. Then you show the man. Yo, big up everyone. Big up. Hey, تعال قلت لك شو سلم bro. سلم. Assalamu alaikum. What was it today? What was it for? Well, you talk to the community, Okay. Yeah, so basically, what I'm trying to say is that the right way, obviously, since Adam till today, the right way is to believe in God, and the wrong way is to not believe in God. Because those that do not believe in God or put partners with God will be in hell forever, and Allah does not forgive this sin. You understand? So you only got a couple of years in this life. You gotta make, you gotta make your choice, innit? And God, God is Qul huwa Allahu ahad. What they say, Allah is one. Allah is samad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. He has no mother, no father. He was not born, and he has no partner. There is none like him. You understand? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his greatness, you cannot imagine his greatness because he's so great. That's why Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq says, do not think about Allah, but think about the creation of Allah. Because you can never imagine Allah. Whatever you imagine of Allah, it's not. You can never get to that stage. So think of the creation of Allah, think of the galaxies, think of the Milky Way, think of come back. Think of the Milky Way, think of the solar system, because there's billions of galaxies. I'm just finished. I don't. There's billions of galaxies, and there's billions of stars, and there's billions, and all of this is in the universe, solar system. So if you think about, we're just a tiny drop in the ocean compared to this. So who created all this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how great must he be? أعطيها فد شيء. Man, I ain't got change, man. Wait, let me see if I got it. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that if you think about the light years distance of the planets, yeah? Go and look on the internet, right? The solar system. Now the solar system and the galaxies and the Milky Ways, we are not even a grain of sand in the sun. And this is what the scientists have found out. Imagine what they don't find out. So when you think of this, his creation, then you can say, oh, you know what? Allah is He's great because you see in his creation, you understand? That's why there's a verse in the Quran, الذين يذكرون الله قياما وقعودا وعلى جنوبهم ويتفكرون في خلق السماوات والأرض. Those that remember Allah standing, sitting on their sides, and they think of the creation of the heavens and of the earth. That's why there's a hadith. It says, ليس العبادة كثرة الصلاة والصوم ولكن العبادة كثرة التفكر في أمر الله. Imam Ja'far Sadiq says, true worship is not just praying a lot and fasting a lot. True worship is thinking of the greatness of Allah. This is a hadith. Always think of his greatness. So you can. That's why when you pray, you will be more humble. That's why when you pray, you will have more. You will have more concentration. More like you cry in your prayer because you see how great Allah is. There's a lot of the disciples and the prophets, they used to cry so much in their prayers, isn't it? Now, even I wanted to talk about prayer and the importance of prayer is that when you say Allahu Akbar, one second, listen. So what I'm saying is when you think Allahu Akbar, people do not even know how to pronounce Allahu Akbar. There's two hadiths to it. I see. Wait, 1 second. Are you sure this thing is running? Yeah. What? I think I pressed that button.
No matter, you can press a whole button on the side.
So what is that red button there?
That's the record. Look here where I'm
So everything's going normal. Yeah. Check
Look
it
where
out.
I'm pointing. Look, see it says hold up there?
Yeah.
That means that no matter what button you press on, it's not going to change.
Okay, so everything's going good, yeah? So basically, what does Allahu Akbar mean? Oh, wow, big up. What does Allahu Akbar mean? There's different hadith to it. Allahu Akbar obviously means Allah is greater than everything. Yeah? Another hadith, Allah is too great to be described. He is too great to be described. And another one is Allah is Akbar, bigger than everything, greater than everything. Okay? But the other hadith was he's too great to be described. Okay. Now, when you pray in your salah, there's a lot of Muslims, they don't even know how to say Allahu Akbar properly. They say Allahu Akbar. That's wrong. It's Allahu, and then you say Akbar. So you don't say Allahu Akbar. You've said something totally wrong, and your salah will be wrong, invalid. So everyone who's Arabic speaking or non-Arabic speaking, if you're Muslim, listen to what I'm saying. Listen how you say it. Allahu Akbar. Because you might say, if you say it wrong, you're saying a totally different thing. So first you say Allahu, and then you say Akbar. You understand? Allahu Akbar. Okay? So this is the right way to say it, okay? Now this is how when you enter prayer, you have to say this. Yeah, big up, Machi. So obviously the Muslim brothers out there, please, and the non-Muslim, the reverts as well, because I know they got a pronunciation problem, some of them. When you say it, remember like this, Allahu Akbar. I'm just teaching you how to say it. Okay. When you're praying in your salah, you have to be fully concentration. If you do not concentrate, there's a hadith that says, as much as you concentrate in your salah, as much as you will be rewarded, as much as your salah will be accepted. So if you do not concentrate in your salah and you're thinking of something else, you're violating God. You're violating your creator, because you're standing in front of your creator and you're thinking of your chick, or you're thinking of what you're going to do tomorrow. Your heart and mind has to be present. Now, even the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when it was time for prayer, like when the time for prayer comes, he was gone. Like when it was, even Aisha says, well, I was talking to the Prophet, and then when we was talking to the Prophet and the time for prayer comes, he was gone. It's like he didn't know us no more. Because when the time for prayer comes, you have to go to your prayer. You don't mess around with prayer. So obviously that's how important it is, yeah? And obviously there's people that take their prayer lightly, and they don't, like I've said this before, my dad told me, even more, if you're dying in the river, you're drowning, and the time for prayer comes, you have to pray while you're drowning. There's no excuses. You have to pray your salah, wherever you are. Now, obviously there's people that don't pray salah, and there's a hadith that says in Muslim books, the difference between a Muslim and a kafir is salah. Everyone knows this hadith. So imagine, a lot of people that are calling themselves Muslim, they're really kafir, because they're not praying salah. So, I'm going to repeat this hadith. The Holy Prophet Muhammad said, the difference between a Muslim and a kafir is salah. So even there's a hadith that once the Imam, they asked him, what is the biggest sins of Islam? So he mentioned shirk was number one. Then he mentioned like so many other different sins. Then he said, you didn't mention salah. He said, you asked me what's the biggest sins for a Muslim. A person who doesn't pray salah is not even Muslim. Khalas. He's out of Islam. So all of your people that are not doing salah, know there's even a verse in the Quran that says, وَمَا سَلَكَكُمْ فِي سَقَرٍ مَا سَلَكَكُمْ فِي سَقَرٍ. The angels asked the people in hell, why are you in Saqar, a place in hell which is very dangerous? They said, لَن نَكُمْ مِنَ الْمُصَلِّينَ. We were not of those people who prayed. That's the first thing they answer. And then they said, وَلَمْ نَكُ نَطْعَمِ الْمَسْكِينَ. And we never used to feed the poor and the hungry. So the first thing they said, we never used to pray. So that's why there's a hadith from Imam Ja'far Sadiq. They asked him, why is the person who doesn't pray a kafir, and the person who fornicates, he's not a kafir? He's still a Muslim. The Imam said, because the person who fornicates, he has an urge, a desire, like a fire, he has to put it out. He's doing a sin, but he's not a kafir. So there's an urge pushing him to do it. But the person who's leaving his salah, there's no urge pushing him. He just doesn't care about God. He's trying to buoy it, he's trying to buoy it off, I'm not bothered, like that. So he becomes a kafir, and the person who does zina is not a kafir, but he's a sinner, a big sinner. It's a big sin. So that's why the one that doesn't pray is a kafir, because he's violating on another level. And even there's so many hadiths about, that's one of the biggest sins after shirk, not praying. You understand? Obviously the biggest sin is shirk, associating partners with Allah or not believing in Allah. This is the biggest sin, and this does not get forgiven. So I'm just saying that prayer is important, and that's why they say that those that pray in the day of judgment, you know, there's going to be 50 checkpoints. Each checkpoint is 1,000 years. One of the first checkpoints will be about prayer, because there's a hadith from Imam Ja'far Sadiq said, "In qubilat qubila ma siwaha." If it is accepted, then all your other deeds are accepted. But if it's not accepted, then all your other deeds are not accepted. So you have to do your salah, and you have to concentrate, and you have to do it on time, and it's not a joke. If you can pray in a group as well, in the group prayer, it's better. You get more rewards, like 1,000,000 times more rewards than praying by yourself. So it's not a joke. Even there's a verse in the Quran about one of the prophets. He says, "Kana ya'mur ahluhu bis-salah." He used to tell his family and his wife to pray. He used to order them to pray. So Allah, He bigs them up in the Quran by doing this action. So even if you're with your wife, someone came to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I come from a far away place. I can't pray in a group with you. What shall I do? He said, a believer by himself is jama'ah. A believer by himself is like he's in a group. And he said, you can let your wife pray behind you. You understand? And you can be praying in a group. It's like you're praying in a group. So if you're from a faraway place and there's no jama'ah next to you, then you're excused. But if there's a jama'ah next to you where there's a group prayer, you should pray with them because it's more rewards. Now, obviously they say the most, once the Imam Ja'far Sadiq narrates from the Holy Prophet, he said, who is the biggest thief? And then the Prophet ﷺ, do you know who's the biggest thief? Is the one who steals from his prayer. They said, how? Is, you know, the one that rushes and he doesn't give concentration. This is the biggest thief because he's stealing from his prayer. Now, obviously, the shaitan, when you're about to pray, they say the shaitan comes to you like the bees come to the honey, or like the flies come to the meat. So they will try and distract you. That's why there was a man, a scholar, he used to, when he loses something in his house or he wants to remember something, he would pray 2 rak'ah and then the shaitan would tell him where it was. Like, because you know when you're praying, the shaitan starts to bring you all the worldly things. He starts telling you about this, that, so you can't concentrate. So this scholar, he used to pray these 2 rak'ah, like extra prayers, and while he's praying, he would find out where he lost the thing. That's how mad it is. So obviously it's difficult, you're in a battle. That's why it's called mihrab. That's why when you're praying, it's called you're in a mihrab. That's why Mary, in the Quran, it says she's praying, it was a mihrab. Why? Because the mihrab, this is a war. What's going on? No odds. It might kick off, bro. When you're... it's kicking off, G. What are they showing? موجودين طالع وراهم. Are they showing in the camera? It's kicking off, G. It's kicking off. Yeah, what are you saying?
What other gang members have you ever known? Bro, let's carry on with the conversation.
Alright, let's carry on. I don't want to get distracted. It's beef, yeah? I don't want to get distracted out here. Like, let me just finish what I'm saying, yeah? So obviously, the prayer, you have to respect your prayer, respect the times of prayer, and respect God while you're praying. Because if you're praying to God, yeah, and like I was talking about, don't get distracted, obviously. And when you concentrate in your prayer, God will reward you. There's so many blessings you get when you concentrate. And lack of concentration is the biggest cause of bad luck of people. They're praying, but their heart is not there. So obviously, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm telling you lot this, yeah, because I know there's people that, you know, they care about their stomach, they care about food, they care about just enjoying their life, but they don't care about spiritual food, because there's physical food and there's spiritual food. And spiritual food is more important than the physical food, because your spirit lives forever. Your body dies in a couple of years. So what you get spiritually is more important than what you get physically. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That's why they say that Salah Mi'raj al-Mu'min. The prayer is the, when something goes up? Ascending or something of the believer. It's the ascending of the believer, going up, like the floating up. You know, like you're going up in the space, like that. That's what your prayer is, because your soul is going up to the sky. It's going up to the heavens, you understand? So when you're praying, you know, yes, Majid. Even the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I said this, he used to cry so much in his prayer. Now, at the end of the day, you're facing the creator of the universe. So when you're in your prayer, you have to know you're facing the creator of the universe. So you should be scared, you should be shaking. You know, that's how the disciples were, that's how the imams were, that's how the holy prophets were. They were all shaking in their prayers because they're facing the king of the universe. So it's not a joke. That's why the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I love from this dunya, the most thing I love is salah. Salah is the most thing he loved, the prayer. So obviously, those that are taking it as a joke, watch out. Because it is Amud ad-Deen. Salah is Amud ad-Deen. What does that mean? It means it's the pillars of religion. So the religion will not stand without the salah. Do you understand? Amud ad-Deen, like this camera, what's holding it? The stand. Do you understand? That's like Islam. The prayer is the stand for the Islam. Do you understand? So without the prayer, the stand is going to fall. So you have to make sure you know that when you're praying, you're going to get results as well. When you pray, you're going to get a good life. You're going to get a healthy body. You're going to get a healthy mind, healthy spirit, healthy soul. So you're getting benefits while you're praying. Do you understand? It's not like you're doing it, you know, especially when you put your head on the ground. They're scientifically proven it's good for your back. Anyone with back pain, he does sujood. You know what's sujood? So hasjud. So camera. Like that. How do you do it? Like that, yeah. So sujood, shufa. Sujood is like this. Show them. Sujood. I'm going to do it. It's like basically prostration. You put your head on the floor. As a Muslim, you put your head on the floor. Like that. You know how to, when Muslims do it, I'll do it. Like, look, show. See, when you do that, all the people with back pain, it's scientifically proven now, this will cure your back pain. All the backbone, all the things in the backbone will be cured. So this is proven now. When you put your head to God, that's why you should make long sujood. When you put your head on the floor, you should stay for hours. You know, if you can do. There was an imam, the sixth grandson of Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Imam al-Kadhim. He was put in prison. The seventh grandson. He was put in prison by Harun in Baghdad, and he stayed in prison for over 10 years. It was a dark place, and Imam, he was staying the whole time in sujood. So they would see him in the morning, he's doing sujood till afternoon, then he prays. After he prays, he does sujood till night. So he's doing prostration all of the day and night, and praying and doing prostration. So if you can do long prostration to sujood, that's very good, you understand? So alhamdulillah, I just wanted to mention that as well about prayers, because even COE. Yeah. Even though that prayer, like I've mentioned prayers before, I mention it again because it's good to mention things over and over again. Like in our salah, we say every day 10 times Surah Al-Hamdu. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. We repeat it 10 times every day. Why? Because it's good to repeat. With repetition, it's a force that you can get, a good force. So when I talk about prayers, because it's an important subject, I like to talk about it because it's very important. Now, I wanted to talk about also giving away money, yeah? They say that the one that is stingy, yes,
Where's my money, man?
They say the ones that is stingy, basically they're saying, look, there's a hadith that says, if you be stingy with 1 dirham for the sake of Allah, Allah will make you lose 1,000 dirham in disobeying Allah. I know there's a lot of people, they didn't give charity, they lost a lot of money. I know this. You don't have to tell me. I know this. I know this 100%. That's why you should always give fi sabilillah, give charity, give for the sake of Allah money. Allah will give you back. You understand this? So you're not losing money. When you're giving, you're not losing. You're benefiting. You understand? So all of you stingy people out there, stop being stingy. You know, throw some in the charity. You understand? I know there's bare stush people out there. That's because they're dizzy rascal, innit? They're just dizzy, bro. They think that the reason why they're stingy is because they got low belief in God. If they had high belief in God, they wouldn't be stingy. They would be giving because they know that God will give back to them. Do you understand? So at the end of the day, yeah, I know that people come here obviously get knowledge, to give knowledge. We're not come here to like waste our time. We're not come here to just argue and fight over stupidness. We come here, hello, how you doing? We come here to give people knowledge. And knowledge There's different types of knowledge. There's knowledge which you learn in school. There's knowledge which you learn in the mosque. There's knowledge which you learn in hadith. There's different types of knowledge. So which knowledge is the best knowledge? I'll tell you which knowledge is the best. The knowledge which makes you fear Allah, fear God. This is the best knowledge. Now, I've already said, that there's a lot of people out there that, believe in God. There's a lot of people that don't believe in God. And obviously, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's given us free will now. It's only 60 years we live in, or less, or more. And this life is a test. Those that believe in God and do good deeds, they will be in heaven. And vice versa. You understand? It's simple like that. You understand? It's like when the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he went to the heavens. What happened in the heavens? He went to the first heaven because the angel Gabriel took him on the horse with the wings from the where's the Palestine place, the mosque, he took him in the sky, and then they took him to the first heaven. Now what happened in the first heaven? The first heaven he saw Moses. The second heaven he saw Jesus. Then he saw Joseph. Then he saw Abraham. Do you understand? He met all the prophets. But I might be wrong in the order that I said it. It might be Jesus first, Moses second, third. But he saw all the prophets. I don't know what order it is. So he saw all the prophets and they prayed behind the Holy Prophet Muhammad. And all the angels in the world prayed behind the Prophet Muhammad when the Prophet was in the heavens. And even the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah tested him so much in his life that one day he was so hungry that there was no food. He went to the Kaaba, he held on to the Kaaba. And he said, Ya Allah, do not make, like he was asking, like the Prophet Muhammad, that's why he said, if you've got a problem, remember the problems of the Holy Prophet Muhammad. Because no one ever to have lived on this earth had experienced the pain and problems of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No one ever. That's impossible to tell me there's a person who had more pain and problems or deeper, stronger pain than the Prophet Muhammad. No way. He experienced the most. You understand? That's because the more belief you get, the more pain you get. You understand? And the more belief you get, the more pain you get in this life. That's why Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq said, the more iman increase, the more pain and problems you get. You understand? And this hadith, like the other day, I was very sad, I was really upset, I was really sad. And then my friend phoned me, I had pain in my heart. My friend phoned me, he's like, yeah, Mo, let's go to this lecture thing. So we went, this is like 3 days ago. And then when I was in the lecture place, this is what the speaker was talking about. He was saying that the more belief you get, the more pain you get. And then that made me feel relaxed because I was in real pain in my heart. I don't know where it was coming from. And then I remember when I heard that hadith, I remembered and I relaxed. So the more belief you get, the more pain and problems, the deeper the pain will be, the deeper the wounds will be. You understand? The more you're going to have to, the more madness you're going to get in your life. Why? Because that's why there's a hadith that says, love your brothers according to their iman, according to how much belief they got. So if one of your brethren has got belief 60%, you should love him 60%. If your brethren's got belief 20%, you love him 20%, according to how high his belief is. You understand? Now, in the Quran it says, إِنَّهُ لَقَوْلٌ فَصْلٌ وَمَا هُوَ بِالْهَزْلِ. What does that mean? It means that this is not a joke. The Quran is serious. Like Allah says, the Quran is serious, not a joke. So when you read it, obviously, and obviously obviously there's a lot of things you need to know in Islam, bro. You understand? When you pray, always smell nice, yeah. And even your breath should smell nice as well. You get me? You have to be brushing your teeth when you pray, putting on perfume. There's so many things in Islam that you should know about. You understand? This is the Deen, innit? The Deen is to learn. The Deen is to give advice. You understand? Yes, my G.
Thanks. What about yourself?
I'm good, man. God bless.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah. So basically, I wanted to say this because I know that there's a lot of people out there. They said to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they said to him, who is the best of people? He said, those that give amr bil ma'roof wa nahy anil munkar. Those that enjoy good and forbid evil. These are the best of people. So obviously, if you're always enjoining good and forbidding evil, this is the best action. You know, this is like, and I just wanted to mention today what happened in Nigeria last week, where a lot of Shia were killed because they went on the Arba'in march of Imam Hussein. Yeah, we'll do that. Next. No, next on your one. Let me finish this. Sorry about that. So obviously, I just want to say condolences to Sheikh Zakzaki, who's in prison in Nigeria now, and all his people. That's just so sad to see Nigerian people getting killed, Shia people getting killed. That's just sad to see that. I just wanted to mention that because I just feel that no one is, it's good to mention that because, yeah, I know over there, I know. That's for the Imam Hussein, isn't it? Yeah, Imam Hussein thing over there. Yeah, hey, listen. Come here, blood. Yeah, so basically, I'm just wanted to say that, and I wanted to say, like, obviously the pen girls, I know they're on my case and that, yeah? And obviously the pen girls, they can take my number because my number's on there, innit? I'm joking. Nah, I love girl them, innit? Girl them holla, innit? Holla at me, innit? But obviously I'm joking around, but what I'm saying, yeah, is that the reason why I'm advising people, I want to help people. You understand? I'm not here to like, to just talk riffraff, you get me? Obviously the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he went through the most pain in his life. And obviously, there's physical pain, there's spiritual pain, there's emotional pain, there's psychological pain, there's pain, you understand? And sometimes that psychological pain or physical pain is more deeper and hurts more than the physical pain. Because physical pain, it hurts and it goes, innit? But that stays, you understand? Until today, like, and what happened to the Holy Prophet Muhammad's family, they all got slaughtered. Hundreds and hundreds of his family and children were slaughtered and killed. So many things happened to him, painful things. Like, all I want to say is that I want to thank everyone that's listening, taking notes, learning, you understand? Because that's the most important thing. You got to learn something new every day, innit? Imam Ali, he would never oppress no one. Like, even he said, if you give me the 7 skies and what is in it, I will not oppress an ant by taking his food. An ant, I will not oppress it by, even if you give me the whole world and everything and you said this is for you, but I'll press this ant and steal his food, I wouldn't do it. For example, that's how Imam Ali was. That's why we take him as an Imam after the Holy Prophet Muhammad. That's why he's the right disciple. That is, after each prophet had disciples. You understand? There's so many, like, obviously there's people like in the Quran, in Surah Yasin, they says, وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ رَجُلٌ يَسْعَى. There was a man that came from the outskirts of the town to tell people to believe in God. And then they killed him. And then when he died, he said, I wish my people knew the blessings that I have now got. So he was thinking of his people even after he was killed. He goes, يَا لَيْتَ قَوْمِي يَعْلَمُونَ بِمَا غَفَرَ لِي رَبِّي وَجَعَلْنِي مِنَ الْمُكْرَمِينَ. I wish my people knew the blessings that Allah has given me and how He's forgiven me, because he was trying to tell his people to believe in one God, and they killed him for saying that. And then when he died, Allah mentions what happened when he died, how he talks. So imagine he's just been killed, and he's being blessed by God, and he's still thinking of his people. That's how much. That's why it says in the Quran about the Prophet, harisun alayhim. You understand? The Prophet was, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he used to love his people, to help them. He used to always say, my people, my people. He just wants to save them. Do you understand? That's why I used to think of them all the time. Even when the angel of death came to take the soul of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the angel of death said to the Prophet, this is the most softest I've ever taken someone's soul out from their body. This is the softest. And the Prophet said, because the Prophet said, oh angel of death, allow it, man, ease it up. You're taking it very strong, the soul. And then the angel of death said, this is the softest I've ever taken anyone's soul, and I'll ever take anyone's soul. And then the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, oh angel of death, be harsh on me, but be soft on my ummah, on my people. Do you understand? That's how the Prophet ﷺ loved his ummah ﷺ, and cared about it. In the day of judgment, all the prophets of God will be saying, oh, save me, save me. Abraham will be shouting, save me, save me. But the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ will say, oh Allah, save my ummah, save my ummah, my ummah, my ummah. He wouldn't be caring about himself, he'll be caring about his ummah. So imagine how great this Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was, the cousin of Jesus, the descendant of Abraham. You understand? So at the end of the day, I give this knowledge, alhamdulillah, like, I hope you learn something. I hope, because especially if you take notes, you will never forget with you. So, alhamdulillah, like, I look to the sky, I thank Allah, I say Allah, bless man. And that's it really, I'm gonna wrap it up, and like, I hope you lot, if you lot got anything to say some nice things in it, say some hadiths, let people learn. Instead of swearing and shouting in the comment section and putting negative comments, put hadiths so people learn. Put something that people can benefit from. It's your boy Deen. I'll wrap this up, yeah, but obviously, like I said, yeah, remember, who's thinking the hardest? Yo, salam alaikum, Aki. You saying you're good, yeah? You want to say anything? You want to say something?
I'm not in the camera.
Why not? Yeah, come say something, though. Nasiha, innit? You don't want to give a nasiha because I've got a recording, innit?
Okay, I'll let you talk.
Alright. Yeah, so basically, I see when obviously, if you want to say something, make sure you say something that will help people, that will benefit people. Don't be saying things that are going to make people upset, sad, depressed. Wherever you may be in the world, wherever you might go on any comment section, anywhere you go, benefit. Put even the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ spread my message and or the Quran, even if it's one verse or one hadith. Put something that you might change someone's life in the comment section. When you put a hadith, or when you put, you understand? Instead of putting, this, hate, confusion, you understand? And like I said, I'll wrap this up. The Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, my Ahl Bayt, my family, his 12 disciples, his daughter, his grandchildren, they are like the Ark of Noah. Whoever gets on it will be saved. Whoever leaves it will be drowned. And the Holy Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, I leave with you two weighty things, the Quran and my family, my Ahl Bayt. Whoever holds on to them will be saved and will not be led astray. So remember, this is my advice. Yeah. Want to wrap it? Or what? You want to keep it going? Or you want to wrap?
For like 45 minutes still.
Yeah. So alhamdulillah, we'll keep it. All right. What? Shall we wrap it? Yeah. Or you want to? It's up to you now. What are you saying?
Wrap it.
All right, G-Star, my brothers. Inshallah, we're gonna wrap this up. Yeah. I hope you learned something. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Remember me your dua. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah wa ashhadu anna Aliyan wali Allah. Bless up. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala. Big up my guy Ishmael.
Sound like a jihadi ninja today.
Yeah. What's going on? Yeah. Bless up. All right. You don't want to be on camera. All right, you man. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah. Stay blessed. Remember me in your prayers. And all of you Christian, whether you're Muslim, whether you're non-Muslim, pray for me. I need your prayers. And bless you all. And I hope I hope you benefit. You know what I'm saying? And cheer up. Everyone who's depressed, cheer up, man. I don't want to see my people that like me depressed and sad. If you want to holler at me, holler at me. You got my number on COE. And we'll talk, innit? My phone, yeah, we'll talk. I want to help people. That's my life. That's my job in life, to help people. Allah sent me to help people. I'm like a flower. You understand?
Delicate flower.
Yeah, gee. I'm not like a flower, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like I'm here to give out blessings. I'm not here to make people sad and upset. Yeah, man, come on, man. And no matter how low you're feeling, remember, Allah can save you. Just put your faith in Him and holler at your guy, holler at me, and we'll talk. And don't hurt yourself. Because when you're hurting yourself by getting depressed, you're hurting your heart, you're hurting Don't hurt yourself. Only be sad when you commit a sin. If you're committing a sin, yeah, be sad about your sins. It's good to be sad about your sins. Feel depressed about the sins that you've done. You understand? And yeah, man, I hope everyone gets married and stays good, because more people should be getting married. But a lot of people right now, they're not married. Why is this? Why are my brethren single? Why are people single and depressed because you're depressed because you're single? There should be more people in the communities that should open like offices to get people married. And this is important in Islam. And if you people don't do that, then you're doing big sins, because there's going to be a lot of fornication, fitna, bad things. So help people get married. If you've got a friend, there's a hadith that says, if you get two believers married, each step you take is 1 year's worship. And if you got them married, the blessings is just in the millions, bro. I can read you the hadith. It's so much blessing. So always try to help people get married, and then imagine all the blessings you're gonna get. I want to try, because I'm gonna start doing that, inshallah. All right, big up everyone, yeah. Yes, my G. Big up everyone. Make sure you're always smelling nice and fresh when you pray, especially. You get me, and you're clean and blessed, and all the pagan them, yeah, that's hating. Man just steps on you with my Air Max 95s, blood. Are you mad? Here. See it there right now. Man will step on pagan. Pagan, lagan, man step on pagan, lagan, man step on chichi, man. You understand? Man will step on the pagan who's trying to hate on me, you know. Even though some of them are nice people. Alright, I'm gonna cut out. Hey, you lot, I love everyone, yeah. All my enemies, yeah, that's hating. You know where I want to step on you, innit? You go under my shoe. That's where you belong. All my haters are under my shoes, under my 95s, my Air Max. Yeah? God bless you. I didn't see.
That was a very strange thing.
Come take over everything from your melody.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV. Listen.
Because I said something to do with the woman over there was speaking a minute ago. She was saying, hang on. She was saying the same type of thing. It's empowerment, not identification, so on. I think you do have to adopt a structural framework to observe the world, and then look at the specific production process